And you know how important it is to learn from other people's experience. It's going to bless you tonight. And I know that many of you are going to go through this process, and because of what you learned tonight, it's going to be easier and it's going to be better for you. Okay? So unfortunately, as you can see, there's a video of me. That means that I couldn't make it. So I had something else that I had planned ahead of, and I was not able to make it tonight. But luckily, we have this technology, and I can make this video for you guys and leave a message tonight, a short message that I know is going to bless you. So let's think about this. You know, why do we study? Why do we do the things that we do in order to get ahead in life, right? So many of you are in high school, and the next phase of your life is going to be going to college and choosing a career, choosing a path to follow, you know? And, you know, tonight we are able to share a little bit of our experience. My wife is going to share a little bit of her experience, and many of the panelists are going to share their experience, what they learned, what they've gone through, and it's going to help you. But let's start by asking ourselves, why do we do this? You know, why do you want to go to college? Why is it that you want to do all this work, all these applications, all these interviews? Ask yourself why, you know? So today, as always, because everything we do is based on the Word of God, you know, let me ask you that, you know, where in the Word do we see that we should become educated, that we should get ahead in life? It's very important. We see a Daniel, for example. Daniel was an educated young man, you know, and he was taken by the Babylonians, and we know his story, right? But God blessed him and used him as a person of influence. All right, listen to that word, influence, right? What you learn in school, what you learn in your education is going to make you a person of influence, okay? And you're going to go to places where you're going to be able to share the word of God with other people, okay? So we talked about it, Daniel, but let's compare two very important people in the New Testament. Who are those people? I want to share something with you tonight, just a small thought. All right, let's think about the Apostle Peter. All right, we all know about Peter. He was a fisherman. He was not an educated man, okay? He was just a fisherman, a simple man. He didn't know about words. He didn't know about many things. And we know that Jesus calls him. He becomes one of the 12 apostles, and he learns from Jesus, right? And we know that Peter has a lot of flaws, okay? Just like we do. We can all identify with Peter, all right? Peter doesn't know how to speak. He doesn't know how to do. He's a rough fisherman, and that's what he does, you know. And everything he does is always like that, you know. And Peter has great victories, but guess what? Peter also had a lot of setbacks, okay? And one of the things that we learned from Peter is that he always just said what came to his head, came to his mind. Jesus, I will never abandon you. I will never leave you. I will go to jail with you. I will die for you. And what happens next? What happens next? Yeah, he negates Jesus. He curses Jesus, you know. And so that is Peter, you know. And if you look in the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 14, after Jesus has been taken up and he has resurrected and given his final words to his disciples, you know, guess what happened? Then Peter stood up with the 11, raised his voice, and addressed the crowd. All right. This is very important because now Peter takes on this new role of leadership in the church, you know, the early church. And there's Peter, you know, continuing the work after having failed, after having messed up. There's Peter, you know, ready to continue. And he does, fellow Jews, and he starts to explain to the Jews, you know, what they just witnessed of the coming of the Holy Spirit. And that's important. You know why? Because afterwards, Peter does incredible things. You know, he starts speaking and people listen to him and they can't believe that it's that fisherman, that simple fisherman that is speaking. Why? Because of the Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit makes Peter just completely a different person, you know? And so Peter starts speaking and people convert to Jesus by the thousands, okay? So Peter is an incredibly successful preacher. and evangelist. All right? But that's because of the Holy Spirit. But you know what happens if you continue reading the book of Acts? There's another person that comes into it, and his name is Paul. All right? And Paul is very different from Peter. Very different. He's educated. Paul is he is a Roman citizen, and he is good with words. He says that he was a Pharisee. That means he studied a lot. He studied the law, and he was an extremely educated man. Okay? And God uses Paul to continue that work. Man, this is very important, and I want you guys to understand this. You know, what Peter lacked, the Holy Spirit more than made up for that. Okay? Because when the Holy Spirit came upon Peter, he was able to do incredible, amazing things. But you know what? Also, Paul was able to do and do things that Peter couldn't have done. And he was able to go to places where Peter couldn't have gone because he was educated, because he had this other preparation in his life. Okay? So in 1991, I came to this country, from Guatemala. And, just like every other immigrant comes, you have dreams, hopes, etc. And I said, as I was growing up, I need to make something out of myself. I need to go to school. I need to go to college. And I wanted to be a doctor at the time. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be a doctor. And as I grew up, things just kind of lined up differently sometimes than what you expect. But in the end, I ended up going into science, and I ended up studying, biology, chemistry, and all these things. And I started a career many, many, many years ago in the biotech industry. And this has taken me a very, very long way. And I've enjoyed so much about it. And, but one of the things I've learned is, what does it mean to be a professional? So today, you guys are listening to panelists that are going to talk about, college, and going to talk about different programs that you can look into. But think about this, all right? This question has to be very, very, very clear in your mind. What does it mean to be a professional, okay? And why? Have you ever heard when someone says, "Oh, this person is very professional"? What does that mean? It means that you've been prepared, that you've been taught to think, to solve problems in a very special way, to be able to understand things, to be able to think critically. All those things are important, and you have to learn to do that if you want to be a leader, if you want to, if you want to get ahead in life. You need to learn to think critically. Okay, so tonight I want you guys to listen to the panelists. I want you guys to be able to understand what they said, to be able to understand what they want to teach you, so that you guys can apply that to your life. Okay, so what does it mean to be a professional? For me, it meant many years, of studying, of understanding science, so that one day later on I could apply that into what? Into product development. Okay, I've been able to work in vaccine development, therapeutics development, biologics. I have some patents that I've been able to work in with new inventions, new technologies. And all this came because one day I said to myself, I am going to go to college, I'm going to study, I'm going to get ahead. And I want each and every one of you to have that opportunity. And so tonight, take advantage of this. Ask questions. Find someone that said something that really, really connected with what you want to do or with what you want to know, and ask them something tonight. Okay? Don't let those voices in your head tell you, hey, you're not going to make it, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough. Remember, Peter wasn't good enough, but the Holy Spirit made the difference. Paul was very educated, but you know what? He also needed God in his life, okay? Because when God came and encountered Paul, that's when his life and all his preparation became really meaningful, okay? So whether you are like Peter or you are like Paul, God is going to make the difference, okay? So I invite you tonight to listen, to take advantage, and I know that God is going to use this and even use the people that he brought tonight to speak to you, all right? So welcome everybody. We're so glad to have you, and I know that tonight is going to be a huge blessing. So, God bless you. Hey, welcome everybody. I am so happy that you guys made the decision to come tonight. We're happy to have you. We're happy to be able to bless you.
To the Apple TV so we can have the presentation. Again, thank you so much for being here. We're going to jump right into the Usg presentation. Today, I'm going to invite my panelists, just because I don't want to be alone here. I'm going to invite my panelists to come over and sit down. We're going to, can you put the Usg presentation, please? Yeah, come on. Yeah, and I have my USG ambassadors here with me, and also my supervisor. And also, you may recognize some similar faces here. We're having technical difficulties. Yeah, you can. Okay. I think everybody knows.
Hey everyone, my name is Jen Real. I am the senior recruiter for the universities at Shady Grove, or USG, which is where Brian attends, as well as some of the panelists, or some of them have actually graduated from that campus. So I'm going to let them do their thing, because they go there, and you'd much rather hear from them than me. But I'm here in case anyone has any more complicated questions, or if there's anything that I can add as a staff member. I've been there for almost 10 years now, so I really believe in what it can offer, even though I myself, unfortunately, didn't have the privilege of attending. But it looks like the presentation is up, Brian. It is good. Excellent.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to start. The Universities of Shady Grove. How many? At Shady Grove, I'm sorry. How many of you have heard about or where this campus is located or about it? Any hands? Okay, cool. Of course. All right. Well, it's a cost-saving option for local families. All right. So what is USG and how does it work? It's a full-service campus. There is 9 universities at this location with selected majors, same professors, same classes, and same degrees. And the major thing about this is that we only provide 300 and 400 level classes, which is your junior year and your senior year. So everyone here is a transfer student. 9 universities, 1 campus. As you can see here on my left side, you can see that all the 9 universities provided with the selected courses. For instance, I attend, my major is in business management, and I attend the University of Maryland, College Park, at the universities at Shady Grove. And I also have my ambassadors here who have Astrid. On your mic.
Hi everyone, God bless you. My name is Astrid. I am a student at USG. I am a senior. I actually graduate next week. Hey. I am a student at the University of Maryland College Park at USG, and I'm a biological science major on the pre-med pathway.
Everyone, I'm Tatiana Quintanilla. I'm a junior with Towson Universities at Shady Grove. I'm super excited.
Major?
Elementary education major with special ed.
Right, so we all attend different universities, but we go to the same campus, so we see each other all the time. So why MC to USG pathway? Well, personally, the reason I chose USG was because it's close to home. I decided to go to MC because it was my second option, actually. My first option was going to Delaware private school to go play soccer, but that didn't work out. Then my backup was MC, And at MC, I learned about the pathway that was created from MC to USG. And the main reason was because it was cost saving. I was saving a lot of money than going to the main campus. Small classes, it doesn't go more than 35 students, so it's between 20 and 35. Some of the other convenient stuff, such as I can balance between work and school, and USG doesn't have dorms or anything like that, so we do live at home. Other things that are pointed out is we are a very diverse campus, and of course, less money for the same degree. Double the scholarship opportunities. This I can vouch for because I get double the scholarships for my main campus, which is University of Maryland, and I also get scholarships from the universities at Shady Grove. Every student is eligible to apply for scholarships at the University at Shady Grove campus. And how it works is one application, and you're eligible to be considered for all the scholarships. And then the one you win, well, that's the one that's given to you. So this is 3 different routes you could take. And we're having the main campus, which it could be UMD, Towson, UMBC. The second route is community college to main campus. So from MC to UMD. And then this is the last route is community college and then to USG. That's the route I took. This is a roughly estimated. Numbers have changed. But you could see that if you were to take the community college to USG route, it would be roughly about $26K. MC to main campus, roughly about $50K. And if you were to go to UMD main campus, live on campus, it would be roughly about 80K. And we have this, and this is not does not include scholarship. This is just you could say the full tuition. Go ahead, yeah.
To make sure people understand why the numbers, because I'm the only one saying those numbers aren't right. So basically, on the different options that you have, if you choose to go out of state or to private school, unless you have a great scholarship, which if you do, congratulations, the numbers are going to be even higher. Can you go back to the slide more? Perfect. But basically, if you choose to go to one of the universities and live in the dorms, you pay a fee for housing and for like eating meals, for just the cost of being there. There's a lot of additional fees. And so you're looking at 80 on average. And again, like Brian said, recently I think a lot of these numbers have jumped, so it's probably even more for some of our main universities. We were looking at kind of averaging out all the different universities in the state of Maryland that you might consider. But in the second line, by starting at Montgomery College, not only are you eliminating the fees for the living, housing, and all of that, but you're also paying less in tuition, which is the amount for classes themselves. That's that $5,000 amount. And then when you finish at MC, they only offer the first 2 years. You have to transfer somewhere if you want the bachelor's degree, which is a 4-year degree. If you go back up to one of those main institutions and you choose to live there, you're paying the room and board fees and the additional costs, all of that. If you do it at USG, this is the part I want to clarify. You're doing the same program. You're getting the same exact degree. You are just doing it at a campus that allows you to stay where you are, so you don't have to pay those additional housing and living fees. But the amount for classes is the same because it's the same professors, and it's the same classes that you get. You're applying directly to that university. They're letting you in. You're just choosing to do it at the USG campus, which is how by doing MC and saving that money, plus doing it at USG, you're getting $26,000 for literally, this is the point I wanted to make sure, the same exact degree. It does not say USG on your degree at all, or MC. So it's gonna be the same degree as somebody who went to UMD for 4 years, or UMBC for 4 years, or whichever your main university is.
Thank you.
I feel very passionately about that slide.
Oh, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. guys again. Okay, so our campus, which is the campus, universities at Shady Grove, is a full-service campus. So that means that everything that you need from a university is going to be on our campus. We have support services such as career and internship, which is very important for a student who want to add to their resume or gain that experience. I've also used those opportunities, and they have a lot to offer, which is really great. Tutoring and writing assistance, when you're writing a big paper, you want to get it reviewed, they have a great writing service to help you with that. Financial aid, undocumented student support, a great library, disability support, and we even have a gym, which is really cool, and we have so much more to offer. We do have student life. Even though we are not a university, we still have student life. We have our own events. I think it's really special because since we have those 9 universities, not everybody can say, oh, I can see my friend from Towson in the same campus, which is so cool. So, you guys can be in clubs together because we have so many clubs. We have fun campus events, and also you can be a leader. Like us, we're USG ambassadors, we're leaders, we're learning leadership skills, and so USG just has so much to offer. Diversity at USG. A cool thing about USG is that we have a lot of diversity, so it's not going to be just one race over the other. It's a place where everyone is equal, and it feels great. It feels great to walk around and see somebody who's just like you, especially since most of us, well, all of us, are transfer students, so we're all on the same level, and it's really special. Of course, everyone has their own pathway. Not everybody, finishes within the 2 years, but if you do, you're still part of that whole USG community. So yeah, we have student organizations that emphasize diversity, like the Latinx Club, student leadership, diversity learning series, our international night, which is great. I wasn't able to attend, but I saw some great pictures, how everybody was able to talk about their culture and demonstrate it, which is very great. First Gen celebration, because we do celebrate first generation students. I am one, I'm pretty sure our panelists are, and it's very special. And of course, so much more. So how to apply? This is very important, because a lot of people assume USG has their own application, but we don't. The way that you apply is through the way of your university. So you have to know which university and program is offered. So first you have to see what program it is, and then be like, okay, so for me, I'm a biological science major. I want to do biology. And that's offered through UMD College Park. So I would be applying to UMD College Park because that is the university that offers my major. I can't be like, I want to go to Towson and do this. You can't, because it's only offered through UMD. But it's okay because we're all on the same campus, so, that's cool. So the way that you apply is the way that your university allows applications. UMD does the Common App, so I applied through that. Different universities have their own, so, be aware of that. And when you're submitting your regular application, everything is, done the same. There's an option that says, which campus do you want? There's going to be the main campus option. Like for me, it was College Park. And the other one is going to say USG. So you just click USG, and then you will be entered for possible admission to USG. So that's how you do it. So a great tip would be to contact your program representative so you know that you're on the right track to apply, because you don't want to apply and realize you're taking all the wrong classes. So that's like probably the biggest takeaway from this is where to apply, how to do it, and also who to talk to make sure. And also, clean slate. So after you graduate, you apply to your community college, you get whatever GPA you get, but that GPA doesn't even matter anymore. I'm not saying you're going to fail your classes. You still got to pass them. But once you get to USG, you basically start at 0, and you have the opportunity to build up. I think it's a great opportunity for many because I know, guys, college is hard. Not everybody's a genius. So we all have our, probably received a bad grade here or there, but not to worry because at USG, it's like you start fresh. And I think that's a very great opportunity for many. And you also don't need an SAT or an ACT. And Yeah. Yes. Okay. Sorry, I love ACES. So I'm part of the ACES program. I really love ACES. I've been with them through high school. So if you're in a high school that offers ACES, they open applications in the 10th grade. Something about ACES is that if you are past the 10th grade and past the application process, you are sadly unable to join. But if you're still in that range where you are able to, definitely do ACES, because they were with me through MC, obviously through high school, and now USG, and they're that great support team. And I love them so much. They have great workshops, and they offer additional scholarships. So like Brian mentioned before, you get double the scholarships because of your main campus and the scholarships that USG offers, but also you get a third option of scholarships through the ACES program, and they're just so great.
Everyone, okay, just like Astrid was saying about ACES program, there's obviously other programs depending on the community college you choose. So they might be under a different name, but you guys can always check that. And the next slide is showing you a degree. Can anybody tell me if the person who received this diploma went to the USG campus or main campus? Volunteers. You guys can't tell? I see some people shaking their heads. Well, that's right, you can't tell. So that's the good thing, because you're going to USG through your main campus. You're gonna get the same degree. So no one's gonna be able to minimize your work, because it's not something to be ashamed of. You have proof up there, don't you? Oh yeah. All right.
Yo fui a USG, entonces solo sale your home university.
Okay, so what are your next steps? So obviously, you guys can contact our website. You can go to our website. We have a lot of online tours if you guys want to see what our campus is like. Also, try connecting with your program director. I don't know what age range you guys are, but if you're interested, you can look at our program list and start emailing your program directors. We have events, pathways and programs night. So you guys can always stay in contact, sign up to our email list, follow us on Instagram, and all that. We have some of the flyers in the back. Yeah, we have flyers in the back too. With more information, you guys can take a picture. And it's good to start now, so you guys can ask more questions. And that's the end of the slides.
Thank you. And I'm going to take off my presentation. And we're going to jump right into our panelist. We can start with Oscar, so let me pull up the questions. But just your name and where you attend right now and your major.
Hello? Oh, it works. All right. Hi, I'm Oscar. I'm currently a nursing major, and I am attending Montgomery College. I'm right now in Montgomery College's nursing program. That one's only offered in their Tacoma campus. I did start in the Rockville campus.
Yep. Thank you. And future plans and current job?
Okay. Well, I plan to be a nurse. I'm currently working as a pharmacy technician. Then the plans, I'm intending to get my associates in nursing through MC, then later go to the University of Maryland School of Nursing, which is offered at USG. Go there for my bachelor's for 1 year, and from there see where else I go in nursing.
Great, thank you. Febe? Introduce yourself, pathway, major, future plans.
My name is Phoebe. I am in MC. I am doing interior design. I am in my sophomore year. Future plans, I don't really know where I'm transferring to. I was looking into USG, but unfortunately they don't have my specific major. They do offer a lot of other majors, but they didn't have my pathway. Yeah.
What's your pathway? What's your major?
Interior design.
Okay, hopefully 2024 will have it. Okay, next, Jesse.
Hi, so my name is Jessica. I go to the University of Maryland, College Park. I'm in my freshman year, and I'm a psychology major.
Thank you. Future plans?
So I plan to work with people with eating disorders, just like giving therapy to them.
Great, thank you. Anibal?
I'm Aníbal. I graduated from Towson University in 2021. I went to MC as well as USG. Future plans, well, now I'm working as a teacher in Montgomery County. Future plans, just continue working.
Senor Guzman. Okay, well, we'll start with you for the next question. Why did you choose the MC USG pathway, and was this your original plan?
So I actually didn't have a plan. I didn't know if I was gonna attend college or just start working. But I applied to MC through my high school. They had application day, and I got accepted, so I started going. And I decided to go the MC USG route just because of the financial help and the financial support, and the, like Brian mentioned, the amount of scholarships you get, right? So one, being Hispanic, two, coming from, low-income family, as well as the major you're in are all opportunities for you guys to win scholarships. All throughout my college career, I didn't have to pay for classes. I had scholarships that covered them. And any money that you don't use for classes or books, it gets reimbursed to you. So I was basically getting paid to go to school. So after every semester, I would always have like a few $100, which, never hurts.
Agree. Okay, Jesse, thank you.
So when I was looking into choosing my campus, I considered, you obviously make that pros and cons list. So to me, one of the reasons that I chose it was it has a lot of activities. I also narrowed it down towards my majors. I originally went in as a double major for nutrition. So that was what took place in my decision. But I was okay with the big classes, the fact that it was a big campus. Definitely the financial help aid that I got helped me make that decision. That was the most important thing for me, for sure.
Thank you. Bebe?
Well, my path originally was MC and then transferring, but definitely because of everything that financially helps you, FAFSA is a great help once you learn how to do it right, because it's a tricky process, but it's great. Like Aníbal said, you get reimbursed at the end of the semester or the end of the year, which is great, and it helps you with your books and everything. So MC was just the way to save money.
So we could say you're a pro now.
I wouldn't say that, but
So if anything, FAFSA, she got you. She's a pro. Okay.
not a pro, but
Oscar?
Okay. Much like Aníbal, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I just thought, high school's over? What am I doing? So I applied to a couple places. MC, obviously one of them. I got into MC and I thought, well, I'm not really too sure what I'm doing, but MC seems like a safe bet. Like, I'm not investing in a 4-year college where I don't really know, when I decide what I want to do, they don't even have that degree. I just wanted to go to MC. I knew I can get an associate's for general STEM or a general studies program. And then once I developed an idea of what I wanted to be through talking with my peers and through the courses of studies, I figured I wanted to be a nurse. And a couple more factors to that decision were the convenience. MC, for me, what was amazing is that going into college, I was like, oh, dang, how drastically will this change my whole lifestyle? But MC allowed me to keep my job, to, stay living where I was, as well as stay involved in church. And all three of those things were big, and MC allowed that to happen, and the convenience of being able to go there, the proximity, and as well as they mentioned, too, the financial aid. Like Aníbal, I got paid for going to school pretty much, which, hey, I'll take that, much better than, having to pay.
Having to be in debt. Nati?
Okay, so just like my panelist here too, I don't have to pay a single penny to go to school, and it has to do because of FAFSA, also because of the ACES help. ACES stuck with me through high school, so they helped me apply and fill out the FAFSA form. They also told me about different scholarships, such as the UMD Campus scholarship, which is for Maryland residents. It doesn't matter if you were born here or not. You guys can still get scholarships. It's there for you. Montgomery College has its own pool of scholarships as well, which you can apply every single year. And there's also the HERB scholarship, which pays for your college, and it's open for DACA students and for everyone too.
Shout out to the Herb flock. Astrid?
So one thing that I think everybody should probably take into consideration is that it doesn't matter where you get your education. What matters is your end goal. I went through, I don't know how to say it, but a lot of people, when I would tell them I went to MC, they would be like, oh, but I thought you were smart. Oh, I thought you were able to get into like a better university. And I was like, that's not the point. A lot of people downplay MC, even downplay USG, even though USG is just another campus. It's the same as going to main campus, but you know how people can be. I don't know if you guys went through that when you guys were at MC, where somebody was just like, you're at MC, like, that's like just downplays your education, like you're not getting your same education. If anything, we're benefiting from not only paying less, but also, for most of us, it was closer to home, much more convenient for us than going to a four-year university, jumping in to pay a bunch of, honestly, unnecessary fees. So don't be afraid to take this pathway. It's honestly amazing. I've made a lot of good friends. I'm part of a great program, which is ACES. And so if you guys are considering furthering your education, don't be afraid of MC. MC is great. Don't be afraid of USG. USG has amazing opportunities and programs. So is there a question I should answer?
I think you covered all the questions. Good job. Okay. But piggybacking on that, talk about the transition from high school to college. So MC, was MC your first choice?
So when I was in high school, I don't know, just suddenly, everything just happened so fast. I'm a freshman, next thing you know, I'm graduating, and I'm like, oh my God. And you know how parents can be a doctor, be a lawyer. And I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm trying to do. So I went to MC because my friend was going to MC, and I'm like, yeah, let's go to MC. But through the ACES program, I took kind of like a little quiz to see what my strengths were in my education. My strengths are like mathematics and sciences, so STEM. And my two options of career were computer science or being a biology major. I took a computer science class once at MC, terrible. For me personally, coding is not fun, so I was like, okay, that's not for me. So I kept circling back to biology because I was so scared of the workload. I didn't think I could do it, but I am also a Christian like you guys here. So I knew that, through God, through the strength that He gave me, I was able to find it in me to do what I was meant to be, which was to take that challenge into biology. And now here I am, about to graduate with my biology and my master's, my bachelor's in biology, and I am a pre-med student. So I'm not going to be applying right now to med school. I'm going to be taking 2 gap years because one is just for my personal growth, for my resume, and studying for the MCATs, which is like medical college admissions test, which requires a lot of studying, and I don't want to be in school and doing that. So that's why I'm doing that. And the following year is applying and waiting for my acceptance, which takes a whole year process. So that's why it's taking so long. But that was my plan. And I didn't even think of that when I was in high school. But, we all have our purpose. Don't be scared to take that challenge. It can get scary at times, but I know that all of us here are doing what we love, and nobody can say that what we did is worthless.
And how do you feel about this decision that you made going to MC and now USG? ultimately, you're about to graduate. What are you feeling about this decision that you made?
I love it. To the people who were like, MC is not where smart people go, I can be like, who's getting a bachelor's next week? Me. I'm getting a career. I'm doing what I'm doing. We all have our different paths. No one's going to be like, oh, I only want a doctor who went to Harvard. No.
Something that
You got to be a good doctor. That's what they care.
Something that always comes to mind whenever we face that is that it doesn't matter where you start. It just matters where you finish. And that's been one of my, I guess, phrase that has been pushing me. Like, it doesn't matter if you start at MC, it just matters how strong you finish. And I guess all of us could relate to this. Tati, the question was, how was your transition from high school to MC, college, and then now to USG?
So graduating high school, I had set my mind I was going to be a nursing student, and I took all the nursing classes, and unfortunately, that's when I realized that's not something I liked or enjoyed. I was trying to do something my parents wanted me to do, and I know our parents are like, you have to do this, you're the first one, you need to make money. But if your passion isn't there, sorry to the parents that are here, but if your passion isn't there, it's best that you do something you love. At the end of the day, it's going to be your future, and your parents are going to support you. Even though they might be like, don't do it, they're gonna be open with you. So do something you guys love. It's going to pay well at the end. So now I'm a teacher. Well, I'm going to be a teacher.
Soon. Woo! Shout out to the teachers. Oscar, how was your transition from high school to college?
Like I aforementioned, it was a bit of a shock. High school already over. What am I doing? And that kind of fear and anxiety of what I was doing. But I was in ACES in high school, and they helped quite a bit. They had programs. They had. I remember going to a summer program thing with them on my
Summer Bridge.
I think it was that. I forget what it was called, but we were at MC for.
We were there.
Oh yeah, I saw you. I can't remember if I saw you guys, but I saw Brian. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that helped me get familiar with the campus and get used to it. And then another thing they did was they had us meet with, I think it was, we met with an MC counselor to like look at like programs of studies. They gave me a kind of a, I don't know how to call it, but like a sheet that like outlined the course of what I was interested in of general STEM at the time. And that was great. That gave me an idea of what class I would take, what like the scheduling was like. And a important thing to know is that in college, your hand isn't held as badly as it is in high school. Like you're really kind of sort of thrown in there in some senses. MC, you pick your own schedule. And you have to figure out like what the classes you need, what prerequisites you need, how to structure your classes. Because there are counselors, but they're not going to approach you first. You have counselors to help you, but it's up to you to make those meetings and to like get that information. And so that was a big transition from it's a transitional point from high school to college. And that was a big thing. Like really it's a lot more on you. You have the staff to help you, but you have to go and get that help. And MC was great, and ACES was great because it like showed me how to get that help. That meeting with the counselor and all that. So ACES and programs such as those were a big help in that transition.
Thank you. I can vouch for that. We're in the same program, the ACES program, and they've been helpful since we applied in 10th grade. So we started the program in 11th grade, and ever since they've been helping until today. There is an office in the Montgomery College, and there is also an office in the USG campus with ACES. Now, let's turn to Febe. How was your transition from high school to college?
Well, as most of you guys know, I actually moved here from Mexico to go to college. So my transition was a little different. I did my last senior year in high school, and for me, it was really odd to change. And it was pandemic, so it was like from one day to another. I didn't go to high school anymore, which I had just started going. And I started the whole MC process by myself. Like Oscar says, there's no one there to hold your hand. You feel like you're alone. So for me, it was a big adjustment to know which classes I need to take, what path do I need to go to. I did 1 year of architecture, and then I moved into interior design at MC, and it was a great way to just know what you want to go to if you're not really sure, because you're not really spending that much money, or you're taking some courses while you're taking your generals for that pathway. But definitely it was a hard adjustment to be like, okay, now it's everything on my own. Now I have to do my own schedules. I have to decide which classes I need to take this semester. Will taking these classes take me like closer, or did I overwork myself like with how many courses I took? So it is something that is quite overwhelming, but you do have a lot of support if you look for it.
You weren't involved in any like ACES program, any?
No, I wasn't involved. I
Right.
didn't know any process. I was just thrown into it.
And did somebody at MC help you, like a counselor?
So
advisor?
actually, no. I did not look for help whatsoever. I applied, and I looked online, and they have a little page that they put like first semester, second semester, the classes you should be taking. And my sister had a little page of like a yellow page, so she's like, these are the ones I took for general, you should take these. And I was like, oh, okay. But por no pedir consejo, for not asking for advice, I did lose a semester. I'm a semester behind just because I didn't ask for help. But I do take it as a learning experience. But yeah.
Now you're a pro.
Now I'm a pro.
Thank you for sharing. Jesse, I know your path is way different than ours, but I wanted to have you here because to emphasize that each student has a different path. It doesn't have to be, you just to save money, you have to go to MC. No, like other students have the privilege to get scholarships, like Jesse. So I'm curious, like I want to know, how was your experience from high school to now at the main campus university?
Yeah, so during my transition, it was also during COVID year. So honestly, that was really beneficial for me just because I was able to like seek help from my counselors and such on one-on-one during Zoom. So I thank God for COVID sometimes because that process was very easy for me in that way. But I was with a program called Collegiate Direction, so it's similar to ACES. They helped me with tutoring for like my SATs and my ACTs and SATs. They also helped me like narrow down the college process. So together with them, like I made a list of kind of like my safety schools, the schools that were like a bit more like on the risky side. They helped me with my pros and cons list. They would also like take us to, before COVID, they would take us to visit the campus, and then after that, it was like the visual tours. So that was like who was my support system during my process. I was like also, being on campus, I think my adjustment to that, going from like being in my house every single day, like coming back, eating my mom's food, having that like family support was a change. Because now, I was in a dorm, I was by myself. So definitely it does like teach you, how to time yourself. You have to seek help. I think that was like very beneficial for me. And just you learning to like build that independence on your own. So yeah, that was my experience.
Thank you. And you?
My transition from high school to college is actually really difficult. Like Oscar mentioned, there's no one really in college to like take you by your hand and be like, okay, you got to take this class and then this class. Coming from a first gen, college graduate, like it was hard because I couldn't, like my mom, she couldn't help me, my brother couldn't help me, so it's a lot of stuff figuring out on my own, as well as these other panelists mentioned, like time management is a very big deal because now you get to set your schedule, and if you want all your classes in the morning, you can do that and then be free in the afternoon, Or if you don't like to wake up early, you can have no classes in the morning and then all your classes in the afternoon. So it's really, you got to learn how to manage your time and, okay, like I have to write this paper and it's due next week. So I need to make sure that when I come home, I write this paper or I get started working on it. So for me, it was a very difficult transition.
Thank you. And back to, I have a question for Jesse, but I forgot. Never mind, I forgot. Let's jump to, we'll start with you with the other question. What is your favorite thing about MC? And you could say MC or USG, you pick. Favorite thing about it.
My favorite thing was the people you get to meet. So once you get established, like your career, what you want to graduate as, you know, obviously there's very specific classes you have to take. And as you're taking those classes, like the people you're with are also interested in that. So it's really like you build your own support group with the friends or people that you meet. And in USG, it was a small class size. We had like 12 people. So we have a group chat where, yo, like, I didn't write this paper, you know, what I got to do? They would help you out. Or does anyone have this book? I need to borrow it. So it was really easy to get that support group.
Question to that. How did it feel to, because the USG is a transfer, so everyone's a transfer student. How was that beneficial to you and to everyone else?
It was really beneficial just because all of the people that transferred into my field they went to MC as well. So we had a lot of the same classes, a lot of the same teachers. We already had experience with each other from the past, from all of our other classes. So overall, it was a really good experience for me.
Thank you. Jesse?
My favorite thing?
Yeah, your favorite thing about the UMD campus?
Okay, this isn't really like education-wise related, but I would say like my favorite things, it's the activities that they host. So every Monday and Wednesday they would have like a farmer's market, and I would get really happy to have like fresh strawberries. The diner doesn't give us fresh strawberries, so that's like the highlight of my day. Or I think like they do a lot of things in campus to help students with stress. So they would bring like support service animals. So we would get to play with like dogs and pet them for a little bit. So that was also one of my favorite things.
Nice. Like therapy dogs? Nice.
Yes.
Actually, we have them at USG too. Okay. Favorite thing about MC right now?
I don't know. Probably that they still offer online courses. I loved online. I did decide this semester to do in person, but the fact that they still branch out to other people, because they offer a lot of classes in the afternoons and the morning, like Aníbal said, because it's people that also go back to school. And since in my major, it's this really small major since it's interior design, and you get to do this big bonds that are like, you're doing this too? Oh my God, take this class, take this one. Oh my God, I love that class with that professor. Like, you create such a big bond, and college is really important to do something that you like, because it's really hard. So if you're doing something that you like, it makes it easier. So probably just that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oscar, favorite thing about MC?
Okay. Like I also mentioned before, I just love the convenience because, as I mentioned, I was able to keep my job. I was able to stay active in church as well as stay where I'm living. And I work as a pharmacy technician. Like, I started in high school, and then I continued working through, through college. And I got that technician certification during college. As something I don't think if I was in like a less convenient campus I would have been able to do. And I'm also now getting my certified nursing assistant certification, which, yeah, hopefully I intend to get that like probably June, which is also something like I'm just able to do because I have that like ability to like manage my time with MC, because I don't feel like I don't feel as pressured and as like tunnel visioned in it. I can have that flexibility and that convenience.
My favorite thing about USG, well, my home campus is Towson University, which is all the way in Baltimore, and I don't have to drive like 1 hour every day to get to Baltimore. I can just go to Rockville. It's close. I'm saving gas. My classmates and I are pretty close. We like throw our own parties, like Thanksgiving. We did Christmas. And it's just really nice because you're getting the experience of college, but it's all near you. And if I ever need a ride, I know I can ask for it because of the gas prices.
Or pool.
Yeah. Also, I don't have to, like, I have no need to go to my main campus unless I want to, because my campus has the library, has office, the Office of Technology, if I ever need help, and there's food available. There's no need for me to go out. And I get scholarships from Towson, I get scholarships from USG, so.
Or you live in
And I don't have to pay. So I'm just happy
and
overall.
you get both of them.
Yep. And USG, you can apply every semester. So it's not once a year that you apply the scholarship, it's every semester.
Yep. Thank you. Astrid?
So it's hard to choose what my favorite thing about USG is because there's just so many things to mention that I just remembered right now. Like Tatiana was talking about the library, which I want to mention a cool fact about it. Because the campus has those 9 universities, so our library is for all the universities. And if, let's say you want a biology textbook, but for some reason UMD, like my main campus, UMD doesn't have it, you can see if Towson has it. You can see if Salisbury has it, or whatever book you're looking for. You can see who has it, and you're free to get that book because of the campus you have. That's just like a fun fact. Okay, but my favorite thing about the campus is that, but also because we have smaller class sizes. It's on average like 35 to 40 students. That doesn't mean it's always going to be like that, but that is on average. And also with MC, small class sizes, I don't imagine myself in a classroom with 200 or 100 plus students. Imagine trying to get your question answered, and then you're probably, small chance you will, really hard to get to know your professor. It's important to get a good recommendation letter when you're doing applications for an internship or even a job. And getting to know your professor, getting to know your peers, getting to know even your program director at a close personal level is a huge, huge step up from a main campus. Not to downplay any main campus at all, but I'm just saying that USG does have that to offer. And personally, that works for me because I feel like I would feel overwhelmed if there was just so many students around me and I couldn't even get my question asked. I love USG.
And let's jump right to the last question of the day. What advice do you give the future generation entering the college hunt?
So I feel like this definitely goes back to my roots as a Christian. Probably my biggest advice is to put God first. Ask for guidance, because even though you are doing, what you want, it's not always going to be what you want, but what God but what God can put you to do, and I feel like if you do that, have that faith, and also believe in yourself, there's so much you can conquer, no matter what path we do. Some of us might not even go to college, but there's so many other options out there. But we're here to talk about our path and how it helped us, and hopefully you guys feel inspired.
Thank you. Tati?
So advice. I would say start asking questions now. A lot of the things I did while in high school and at MC was start emailing my program directors. I signed up for the email listing. I started trying to go contact the university. I wanted to know what was the best option for me and what was convenient for me. So contacting, asking questions, making sure you create that bond early on is really beneficial for yourself. So yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. I would say the biggest piece of advice I want to give is to have a plan. Some of us, discussed, your hand isn't held. So a lot of, the best thing to do is just, have an idea of where you're going. maybe not immediately entering in college, but start to formulate like what exactly you're going to do, because you really don't want to be you don't want to be switching degrees like mid coursework, mid semester, and realize that all these classes you took, oh shoot, I got to take all these other ones. Sure, you get the experience, but you don't want to be wasting the time. Again, a great thing to do is use that first semester to like talk to peers, talk to teachers, like use those courses that you're taking as a sort of reference of, okay, is this a field I want to go into? Or, okay, should I just change majors immediately? You know, it's okay to do major like switches. I have two friends. I had one that did, who tried doing, I forget what it is, in engineering. I think it was a medical inclined engineering program. He realized that's not what he wanted to do. He realized that he thought it was a certain way, but it wasn't, and he changed programs, and he realized he lost a bit of time because of that, because he didn't do that research of realizing what that job outcome was, and how competitive a field it was. And I have another friend who went from pre-med to film, because he realized that pre-med wasn't for him, and it wasn't a passion he had. And film was something that he would much rather do. And that just highlights the importance of like knowing that what you want to do, what'll make you happy, what pathway, where do you want to go to, make yourself happy. It's something where it's a commitment. Like once you get the degree, there's no, oh shoot, I want to change that degree. Can you just write this instead? It's really deciding that I'm going to use this degree because I know what I'm going to do with it. So formulating what degree you're going to get, how you're going to use it, and what'll get you from here to there.
Having the ultimate goal, basically. Thank you. Phoebe?
One advice I would give is ask for help. 2, don't be scared to change your majors. I know you said that. I would recommend it, I wouldn't say change your major, go right ahead, but I would, if you're not liking what you're doing, change it. Es mejor cambiarlo cuando llevas un semestre que cuando llevas 30 años trabajando en eso. That's what my opinion was. I was in architecture and I loved it, but I went into interior design and it was everything I loved about architecture minus what I didn't like. So it was definitely if you don't have a passion for it, it's okay. If you're trying to change, it's okay. So yeah.
And how easy was the process of changing it?
It was so easy. All I had to do was fill out a form. I don't want to do this, I'm doing that now. And then after that, I went to my counselor, for the director of the interior design program, and she was like, yes, it's fine now. Let me take you, let me guide you through the new path that you're going through. And they offer so many things now. Interior design has 3 different kinds that you can go in. You can go through the NQBA, that's kitchen, bath, professional. I am a pre-professional interior designer. That's the path I'm going in. So there is different kinds, and just looking into it, sometimes you get the idea of lawyer, doctor, and that there's solo hay poquitos, but there is so many different majors that you don't even imagine. So if you go in not knowing it, you might find something that is more specific to what you like, and it's okay.
Thank you.
So my advice is actually going to be similar to Astrid's, just because I think once it comes down to narrowing, okay, where am I going to commit? I would say run to God. Definitely pray, because UMD wasn't my first choice. I wanted to go out of state, but those weren't God's plans for me. So now when I think about it, I can't imagine being somewhere else, This was definitely where I was meant to be, and I just definitely say pray with your family. My mom would always pray that I would go to UMD. I was well, I don't even know if I'm going to get accepted. And she would buy me shirts, and she's this is where you're going. And I would be I don't know. And when I got my acceptance, she was like, see, like, I told you, like, this is where God wanted you to be. So I would definitely say, like, pray about it, ask him, like, to, like, reveal to you, like, where he wants you to be, because it's going to bring you a lot of peace.
Thank you. Start buying T-shirts.
Like they just mentioned, keeping God first is definitely a big one. Because as we know, like when you have God first in your life, he will provide. I saw in my own life, the first time I filled out FAFSA, I started crying because I saw how much we were living off, and it was so little. I was like, how are we living off this? And I was able to see God's hand move in my life and provide those scholarships, and even give money back. That's one. Second is, like what Oscar mentioned, like already start thinking about what you want to do in life. Maybe not specifically your degree, but what would you like to do? Do you want to help people with, most of us are Hispanic here, we're bilingual, so do you want to be a translator? There's so many different options in that. Do you like, working in the arts? There's a whole bunch of different programs in that. Just start narrowing it down what you want, so then your scope goes from being like this wide to, like I have a clear shot. I know what I want to be. This is the path I can take.
Thank you. Why don't you share, Brian? Why don't you share your my advice? Oof, I didn't think about it. Well, my advice is always have a plan B. When it comes to school, always look at your pros and cons, like Jesse mentioned, and always have a plan B. And before that, ask God for guidance, because I had my plans for my future, but those weren't the plans for God. He definitely wanted me to stay in Maryland, near home, and near church as well. So I think it was very beneficial to my life for me to still be helping out and serving here at church and being close to the family, and also now serving as a USG ambassador. I think going into MC, I was like, what am I going to do? I don't want to be here. But it definitely, I think everything came together, and I was like, okay, like I really enjoy doing this. I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And at first, I didn't know. I knew it was something related to business that I wanted to do, but I was like, but what in business? But now I've narrowed it down. It's to business management. Eventually, I already have a business, but I want to learn how to manage, how to work with others. That's the ultimate goal. But yeah, that's my advice. Listen to God's plan. Second, always have a plan B. I remember I put for my scholarship, my ACES coach was like, just put MC just in case. And you have to put it for them to consider you, to give you scholarships. MD Cabs does that. You have to put MC. You have to list all the schools that you possibly could go to. And I listed my first one, which was in Delaware, and then I put MC as my second. So that was a very good advice they gave me, because if not, I would have zero scholarship my first semester. So always have a plan B, and those who are helping you out through the process, always listen. Those would be my advice. Jen, would you like to finish?
You all. I'm super inspired, and I feel like I hear this all the time, but I'm even more inspired. To those of you that maybe are at MC and might be coming to USG, and maybe that's only as you're here, but red polo might be waiting for you if you like doing this kind of stuff. But no, I agree a lot with what Brian said, because I was going to say, kind of, you're back here, and whether it was your first choice or not, you're in this position now sharing what you learned to everyone here, which I think is really important as well. And all of you sharing your different experiences allows for people. So I always say, I work for USG. I've worked for USG for almost 10 years. So even though I didn't go there, I feel very much like, yes, USG is the way. However, really what I feel is that I just want people to know about us, because it's not really a place that a lot of people understand when I say universities at Shady Grove. So to know that option when making your choice. And if you know that option and you know your other option, you choose the other option, that's great. You made the choice that was best for you. So it's not about, Jessie going to UMD is great, and that worked out for her. But it's about understanding all your options fully. So if there's something that you're not as familiar with and you just kind of brush it off, or you hear some things about it and you think, yeah, I don't think so, explore it, because maybe it will actually turn out to be the right one, and maybe USG is that. So I think that you guys are amazing, and that this church is certainly lucky to have all of you who attend here. And then at the back, we have a table, and we have some just flyers. One lists all the majors that we offer from the different universities. We have some flyers specific for those of you who are in high school, for those of you who might be already past high school. And so we can all at least head back there, and if any of the other ambassadors want to, we can hand you out those flyers or answer any more one-on-one. But I guess, did you want to see if anyone had a question for the whole group first, or just kind of do it? Okay. Did anyone that's watching here have any questions in general? So unfortunately, at least not with MC or USG, the tuition is a fixed tuition that they would tell you in advance. Your salary would be separate in terms of like what you're making if you're making a job. But sometimes there are some companies you might work for that might contribute towards your education. So if you're already working at a job, I would ask and see if they have something that would allow you, because you're working for that company, to pay for some of your education, if not all. If anyone has anything else, yeah.
There's also some jobs that give you money for. There's also some jobs that give you money for books and reimburse you for studying. So when you're looking for a job and you're studying, that is a really good thing you should look for, and one of the benefits that they give. So just.
Yeah, to add on, no, because I'm not as familiar. I was lucky in that I didn't have to do that, but I think that's really important. Any of those resources, really just knowing all the resources. So whether it's your job, whether it's one of the scholarships through our campus, through your main university, or through those third-party scholarships that aren't affiliated with a specific university. There's scholarships for undocumented students, as was referenced. So just looking at all those resources. But your current job could definitely be one of them. Great question. Any other questions for the group? Okay. Yes, you can please say that.
O en español también puede. Para, I think all of us. Yeah. Us. Padres. I think that's it. And yeah, we'll be in the back with the flyers, and one-on-one question. Feel free to ask one of us. And we have a lot of members that have already gone through the path. So always, feel free to reach out to me, Febe, Oscar, Jessica, Aniva for advice. I think they're great for resources, and I think they'll help you a lot if you're interested in something that it's not related to their major, but they'll get you to someone who knows more about it. Well, thank you so much for everyone who was able to make it, and this is USG. And let's cut the live. Thank you, guys.